Welcome everybody to episode 5 of Daydream Legend. I am here in a cloudy Monday morning in Jersey. I'm hoping that the sun comes out. Trying to bang this episode out Monday morning. I was going to put it off till tomorrow, but I got a lot going on this week, so we're going to push this episode out. I want to thank everybody for returning, everyone for subscribing. The numbers shot up this week. I'm very happy about that. I got many voice messages that I don't even think I'll get to all of them this week. I got some Facebook messages and another F, marry, kill. I'm saying F, marry, kill because I think the algorithm on some of the YouTube doesn't like the F word or the K word. I'm sure I'm going to drop the F word a lot on this podcast just because it's natural for me to, but I don't know. It's weird. Somebody told me that that's how sensitive the algorithm is, that if you say the word K-I-L-L, they flag you, which is ridiculous, but I think it's just robots running this, so it's not like a human's doing it. But anyway, welcome back. If you're here on YouTube, please subscribe at the button and hit the bell to be notified. If you're listening on the audio podcast, go over to YouTube, subscribe. The podcast is also available. The video of the podcast is not only available on YouTube, but also Spotify now as well. So you can watch it on the Spotify app, which is pretty cool. So go over to Spotify and subscribe there. And please leave a rating, a review, a comment. And I don't know, that helps the algorithm. I like using that word. It makes me sound like a scientist. Helps the algorithm push me out to more people. Yesterday I had an afternoon gig in Western New Jersey, which was a 4:00 gig, which usually sucks. You're 4:00, the sun's shining. It's not going to be good. And we walk in. I'm not going to say the name of the place because the place wound up being very nice people and the gig wound up being pretty good, but it was hilarious. It was like going into a time machine. Paneling. It was like this little restaurant off this exit at the end of Route 80 towards Pennsylvania. Paneling walls, rodeo paintings, cowboys, and it just looked like they haven't redecorated since 1976, maybe 75, like the year I was born. But actually, they did one decoration since then because actually in the bar area, they had Spuds MacKenzie statue. So they must have updated maybe around, I don't know, what's that, 85? So 85, they put Spuds MacKenzie on the mantle and they were like, perfect. We're done for the next 30 years to 40 years. I don't think, it doesn't look like they're about to. Doesn't look like they're about to start. But anyway, thank God the gig was at 4:00 because these people were hammered at 4. I couldn't imagine if we were performing at 9:00. I think they would have been just screaming profanities at us. And they wanted it dirty. They said they wanted it dirty. And so I led with some pedophilia jokes, which have been doing good, and they definitely clammed up on that. I got decent laughs, but not like what those jokes have usually been doing. So I'm like, oh, okay, you don't want it dirty. But then they laughed at that. We got a little dirty, and then the show wound up being great. But the weirdest comment after was they said, man, it was dirty. We were hoping it would be more racist. Definitely not a tip. Definitely not something I've ever heard after a show in my almost pushing 20 years. I guess I'm 17 years in. Never said, man, I liked your show, but I wish there was more racism involved, more racist jokes. But I guess that's the type, I should have known that when I saw Spuds MacKenzie and the rodeo paintings. So that's that. They're still out there. There's still a need for racist humor. So if you're a comedian listening to this and that's the type of humor you do, private message me and I'll send you to a place where they appreciate that sort of 1950s racist humor. I don't know. It was very, very odd comment, but They were very nice people. We had a fun show, and I just wanted to tell you that story. Listen, I was going to talk more about me, but we got so many messages. I guess it'll maybe come through in that. I'm not going to get to all of them this week. I have 15 voicemails. There's not a chance that I'll get to them all. So I'm going to spread these out over the next few weeks because they're evergreen. So let's get to the first one.
Messages.
Hi, Joe. It's Robin. Okay, so I have not a silly question. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. I want to know if you have any phobias. I have, oh God, I can't believe I want to say this. I have a phobia of mustard and rubber balloons. I cannot, I see a rubber balloon, I'm through the roof. Mustard, I can't even look at the bottle. That's like, I have real phobias with those two. Do you have anything that really bothers you like that? Like you gotta run for the hills when you're near it. And bye, Joe. Great show.
All right. Thanks, Robin. The best contributor to the show. Everyone else has to step up. Robin is like giving me content to work with, and I appreciate her. I got to find her Venmo, and I'm just going to send her money because she really puts it all out there for this show. Do I have any phobias? So Robin had mustard and balloons. I'd love to deep dive on that and find out how the mustard fear came. I don't think I'm afraid of any condiments that I know of yet, but there's probably many condiments I haven't tried yet, so I still have potential to have that fear. Phobias. People laugh at me. I'm afraid of antique furniture. It makes me think of ghouls and goblins and like scary shit. Like I can't sleep in a room that's got antique furniture. I think it goes back to, this is where I remember it going back to. When I was a kid, my father and his roommate Donnie would take all the kids to Lake Ontario for a week fishing. We'd bring the boat up. We'd stay in these little cabins that are like right in the harbor. And I became friends with the guy who owned the harbor like bait shop with his son. He was like my age, and he invited me to sleep over one night. And I went to this creepy house up by Lake Ontario. And everything was brass, like antique furniture, scary dolls with the eyes just staring at me. And then the kid, we were like sharing this big bed, which was weird. And then the kid just like wakes up and he's like, I think I peed myself. And I'm like, in the bed with me? And he's like, I'm sorry. Now, I didn't get pee on me, but I smelled the pee, right? Like, it's so weird. Like, I didn't know he peed, but the moment he said that, all I smell was pee. And then I'm in this dark, like, they don't have like TV. Like, I'm used to falling asleep with TV. It's just dark, just creepy furniture. He turns on the light. They don't even have like great lights. They have like very dull lights, like those little candle, like incandescent lights that are orange. And it just was horror movie. I'm sitting there with this, I don't even remember his name. He's just, kid's crying. He's smelling like pee. It's very poorly lit. It's just antique furniture. And then I didn't, he started crying. His parents came in. They're like, what's wrong? He's like, I peed myself. And they're like, in the bed with Joe. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I know, this stinks. They change him. They're like, all right, boys, you got to get to bed. You got to get to bed. And then he gets changed. And let me tell you, we're not kids. We're like, 12, we're pushing teen years, maybe. Shouldn't be peeing like that. And like his parents changed him it just was weird, man. So then he gets changed, and then, they're like, you got to go to bed. I didn't go to bed. All I did was stay up all night staring at the creepy furniture, the rocking chair in the corner, the dolls, like I remember these weird paintings. It was like family portraits, but the painting ones, and like they seem like wherever you walk, the eyeballs are looking at you. Like if I went over here to get away from the painting, like the eyeballs are like turned. I mean, I'm probably imagining that. I don't know if it was designed to do that, but I just remember not getting any sleep, and I'm on on the boat with my dad the next day, just exhausted. And he's like, "What's wrong with you? Did you drink last night?" I'm like, No, I was in a horror show with a kid who peed himself, and I never want to go back there again. And ever since then, I had a girlfriend one time be like, "Oh, I got us a bed and breakfast for the weekend," and I didn't really know my fear of. See, like I was afraid that night as a kid, but like at 17 or 18 when this girl got that, I didn't know my fear was that big. And we went to this bed and breakfast, and I didn't sleep all night. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "We got to go get a hotel. I can't with these flower like bedspreads from like the 1930s. It just was so scary. Like, I don't know why. I feel like there's ghosts in the house whenever there's antique furniture. So I'll probably never be somebody who goes antiquing, because that's be inviting horror into my life. So I'm trying to think. Do I have any other? I mean, I'm claustrophobic. That's a phobia that I think anybody has, because I think, and my claustrophobia definitely comes from my older brother Mike holding me down when I was a kid and breathing hot breath into my face until I cried. So yeah, that's that one. And he just hold me down, and I would just cry. So if you really want to torture me, if you need info out of me, get me in a room with antique furniture, hold me down, and breathe hot breath after dinner in my face, and I'll tell you everything.
New message.
Hi, Joe. All right, so 2 fierce questions. The first one is, what is one trait that you don't have that you envy? Did I say that right? What's one trait you envy that you don't have? Okay, so the second question is, what's some advice you give to others but you don't follow yourself? Bye, Joe.
That's a good one. What one trait I don't have that I envy, and what advice I would give to others I don't follow? You know what? Something I envy in people is like confidence. Now, I don't know if it's weird, because like I have confidence, but I sometimes feel like I have to really conjure it up. Like I think it comes from my anxiety. But I envy people that seem to me like they have confidence. Like, I don't know. See, I don't interview everybody I see, so it's like I don't know if they really have confidence or they're faking it till they make it. Like me, like sometimes when I have confidence, I'm telling myself to. It's like my body doesn't feel confident. My mind don't feel confident, but I'm like, just act confident. I'm envious of people that don't have to do that. They don't have to psych themselves up and talk themselves into things. I feel like I could be further in my career if I had maybe an ounce more of that. Because it's just a hard one for me my whole life. I just always feel that other people just have all these natural abilities to like do shit and like be confident. And I guess as I get older, I realize that some people don't, that they just have like tools they use to be confident. But I envy that. If you're someone that is that confident in what you do, like all the time with no doubts, I would love that. I would love that. But that's something I've gotten better with, because like back when I was younger, I would just not do shit. I'm like, if I wasn't confident, I just didn't do things. I think I missed out on a lot of opportunity, especially in my comedy career. I definitely have lost out on a lot of opportunity because my confidence level was at an all-time low and I couldn't conjure it. It was like, because like when I'm around people that have the confidence, I'm like, I just don't have what they have. It's like this, it's this never-ending battle in my brain with my anxieties and it's quite exhausting, actually. At 47 years old, I really thought I'd have a handle on this. And I feel like I just started getting a handle on it recently, because I feel like it's something I needed to practice my whole life. I think a lot of these people that have the confidence, they've practiced it by pushing through. Instead of me back in the past where I would just retreat, they went forward, and then you'd build confidence. And I learned that because in the past, I'd say 5 years. Maybe when I turned 40, maybe past 7 years, I've consciously told myself to push through, fake it till I make it, show some confidence, and I've gotten better with it. So by the time I die in my 80s, I should be fully confident when I don't need it. So that's what I'm thinking. But anyway, what was the second? Some advice you give to others that I don't follow. That would be like, yeah, if I tell someone like trust their gut, you know, that's like something that like that's a weird one. Like trust your gut, or like you know, make choices for yourself. Like try and be like it's weird. There's like this thing called like selfishness that's like a negative, but I feel like sometimes you have to have it in life to have the life you want. Like you have to do for you. And there's always like this fine line of am I being selfish? Like negatively, like just because I'm greedy, or because like you always hear the word selfless too. Like you do things less for yourself. I don't know why I'd explain that to you. I just said those words. Of course, that's what it would be. I'm so stupid. Anyway, to do the things you want in life in a selfish way that's not negative. Like if somebody calls me and they're like, oh, I'm torn between these two things. I'm like, well, what do you want? What is it that you want? Like, what does your gut tell you? I don't do that with myself. I talk myself. I definitely have a hard time with that because it goes probably back to my anxiety and my confidence. I don't have courage in my convictions. You know what I mean? Like I'm too worried. If I make this choice, will everything fall apart? If I go there if I do something and I fail, is that the end of everything? Even though my gut tells me do it. But it took me. So yeah, it's so easy to give out advice. When people ask me for advice, it's like this. You know what you should do? You should do what I would love to do if I had the confidence to do it. That's what you should do. I don't have this, but I hope you do, because I think it would help you, because it's been hurting me. That's what I like to tell people. Anything I tell you, I don't do. If that makes any sense at all. But I think a lot of people have it's easier to give advice to somebody than to do it yourself. It's always harder to do it yourself. But I think that would be the one thing, like when I tell people that, I realize that I'm full of shit too. Because how do you trust the gut? What does that even mean? Is the gut telling you? Because I feel like the gut tells you things when you shouldn't do things, like, yo, danger. Then the gut tells you things when you should change things. I don't know. The gut, you know what? I don't know if my gut is listening right now, but if you're can you like be more like consistent or specific with what you want me to do? Just don't give me cramps. Can I have like a cramp where I need to make a change, or cramp where I have to run from danger? Just can the left side be positive gut and the right side be negative gut? If you have any, I don't know, does anybody have any tips out there on how to trust the gut? I don't know. The gut. Let me tell you something. When you have anxiety like me, the gut is working. I can't even believe I have a belly. I feel like my gut is working so much overtime. I should have 6-pack abs. That's how bad my anxiety is. Trust the gut. My gut is on fire all the time. So I hope that answered your question. I don't know. I feel like I went off on a little tangent.
New mail notification.
Know what I want to do? We're going to save the F, Marry, Kill to the end. I want to get to some of these instant messages we got for our fun little podcast. I got these messages sent to me on Facebook. Deadliest TikTok trends to ever exist. I haven't watched this yet, so we're going to go live with you guys and try and get some natural reactions. So it's this young kid on TikTok named Sebastian. His TikTok handle is Sebastian K22. So we're going to check out his deadliest TikTok trends to ever exist.
These are the deadliest TikTok trends to ever exist. Up first is the Benadryl challenge. This was a challenge where everybody basically took a bunch of Benadryl. You may be wondering why they were doing this, and it's because apparently it makes you hallucinate. But taking this much Benadryl can also cause death. And that's what happened to a young girl who attempted the Benadryl challenge. Next up is the blackout challenge, aka the choke game. This was a challenge where people just stopped themselves from breathing. so that they would pass out unconscious. And as a result from this challenge, 7 kids allegedly died. This is actually insane, and nobody should ever do these challenges again.
All right. Though I used to do one of those when I was a kid. We actually did that in rehab. For those who don't know, I went to rehab in high school. We not only did, I never did a Benadryl challenge, but we did used to drink Robitussin a lot. We used to call it robo tripping. We would go to Pathmark and buy Robitussin and drink it and just be drunk with red teeth. That was childhood, when you didn't have the best video games or the internet when you're a kid. You drank Robitussin. We also did that pass out challenge where you hold your neck and you push somebody against the wall till they pass out, because when you wake up you are just, you're just lightheaded and feel high. We did it during rehab, which I guess I don't know if we relapsed. Was that considered a relapse? I don't know. But I've relapsed since then, so all my clean time now is definitely real, and I haven't done the pass out challenge. But yeah, that's scary, with these challenges on TikTok. Because I remember learning way back then that like people got like paralyzed from the pass out challenge, and the fact that I have young nieces and nephews, I just hope they never do shit like that. That's pretty scary. But I've done that before. Let me watch another one and see if there's something I've never heard of before. That's what I really want to do. But yeah, me and my friends used to do cocaine challenges, LSD challenges, lots of illegal substance challenges, but nobody knew about them but us and our little circle of degenerate losers that were on the wrong path in life. All right. Okay, same kid, banned things in China that will blow your mind, part 2. So I got part 2 first. Let's see, and then...
These are banned things in China that will blow your mind, part 2. Up first is Christmas. Christmas is banned in China because it's not associated with any religion other than gift giving. So it looks like China doesn't like people giving gifts to each other. Next up is the number 4. The number 4 is banned in China because it sounds too much like the word death. So if you ever go to China, never say the number 4. Next up, mostly all social media platforms are banned in China, like Google, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even YouTube. This is because they all contain content that China can't censor. So instead, they just ban it. The only platform they really use over there is just TikTok. So if you go to China, TikTok better be your favorite app.
Okay, so number 4 sounds like the word death. That's the one I mean, who cares about Christmas? I mean, it really is just about gifts. It doesn't, what is it? I mean, I don't know anybody that really, a few people I know do it for the religious reasons, but worldwide it's about gifts. But I wonder if Google Translate can do the number 4 for us. Let's try that. Google. Okay. 4. I want to do it in Chinese. We'll go simplified. Let's see what it says.
4
That doesn't sound like it to me. Let's try it traditional Chinese.
4
Okay, now we're gonna type in the word death. See what that sounds like.
死亡
Okay. That's Chinese traditional. Let's go simplified. See if that.
死亡
And this is 4.
4
So 岁 死亡 岁. Okay, I guess it does. I don't know. I think they're just using that. Yeah, why would you pick 4?
4
I'm gonna try to listen to death one more time after hearing that. Let's hear.
死亡死亡死亡
Or wait, am I doing the wrong? Wait, am I supposed? Was it kill or death? Now my brain doesn't work. I don't remember anything. Well, let's hear what this kid said again. All right.
That will blow your mind. The number 4 is banned in China because it sounds too much like the word death.
Yeah.
So
Okay, death. I had the right word because my brain ain't working.
死亡
And 4.
4
It kind of sounds like it. Very odd to ban a number, but that's just the power you have when you're a murderous regime. And please don't kill me, China. This is just a podcast. I'm just an American trying to get by.
Instant message.
Things that shouldn't be scary but are. Let's try that. Let me unmute. Okay, this is another video. Things that shouldn't be scary but are. Part 6. I didn't get the other 5 parts sent to me.
these are things that shouldn't be scary but are, part 6. Okay, so we all understand old age, and that as you get older, it changes your body's appearance. But have you ever seen somebody that's over 100 years old? If not, I'm about to show you. The video shows a monk that is 108 years old, and there's just something about it that's pretty creepy.
Oh my God. Oh, you got to go to my YouTube and watch this, or Spotify video. That can't be real.
มาฝั่งนี้สิลูกมือหลวงพ่อใหญ่จะได้
Oh. Holy shit, I'm gonna have nightmares.
จะทำหลวงพ่อใหญ่แรงหลายเบา
Oh my God. Holy shit. What the fuck was that? Oh my. Alright, go to my Spotify video or YouTube. Hold up. I also have a weak stomach. I'm gonna puke. Oh my God, I gotta take a moment. Okay. Holy shit. I almost wish I didn't see that. First off, it's very sad. It's very sad. I'm not crying. I'm crying because I almost vomited all over my desk. But I don't know, if you don't have a weak stomach, go watch that on my YouTube if you're listening on the audio. Holy, I can't do. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say about that. Did you see that? If you're listening on the audio, I can't. It's like a skeleton. At first, it looks fake, like it's a Halloween decoration, but it is. I think it's very, very real. And oh my God, I'm speechless. I am literally. It's awful for a podcast to be speechless because the whole thing's about speech. But I am speechless, man. Oh my God. Holy cow. If that's death at the end in China, then I know why they don't like the number 4. Oh my, okay, we're going to just move on from that because I can't even think about it anymore. We're going to go with the F, marry, K-I-L-L.
Messages.
Hello, Joe. This week's edition of Fuck, Marry, Kill features NBA All-Stars. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Shaq.
F, marry, K-I-L-L, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Shaq. Okay, so this is the homosexual edition of F, marry, K-I-L-L, which is fine. I mean, you know, doesn't bother me. So who would I rather F, marry, K, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Shaq? I think I'm going to go back to the original, like all those other ones when we're talking about celebrities, like which one first can keep me wealthy is, I think Shaq's probably the wealthiest of those. Well, no, actually, Magic Johnson is actually owner of the Dodgers. I mean, I think he's got a lot going on. Shaq is too big for me to do anything with sexually. So I think I'm just going to have to kill Shaq. Like one time, I think it was like in I don't know if it was, I think Universal Studios maybe, there was like these big concrete basketballs and they had the handprint of like all these basketball players. Shaq's finger is like, I don't know if this, I think it looked like it was like 2 feet long. I can't be dealing with that sort of, if the finger is that long, I couldn't even imagine, you know? All right, so we're killing Shaq. Because I can't marry, unless we're going to be in a sexless marriage, I definitely can't marry him. I feel like I'm so small next to Shaq, he would just leave me like in a case to take out every once in a while. Like that's how tiny I am. Okay, so Shaq's going, he's dead. Okay, so I have to either F Larry Bird, was it, or Magic Johnson? I think I'm gonna marry Larry Bird. Actually, see, okay, I can't. I guess I mean, AIDS isn't like AIDS original. AIDS today is like chicken pox, isn't it? Like they can get rid of it. You take pills. So if I want to be rich, I'll marry Magic Johnson and then just fuck Larry Bird. See, Larry Bird I could either marry or fuck, because he kind of, you can kind of like, with the blonde hair, if it's a young Larry Bird, if you give me young Larry Bird, you can kind of, maybe he could look like a woman to me. So it might be easier for me. So yeah, I think I'm going to marry Magic Johnson just for the dough and I guess cross my fingers I don't get AIDS. But if I get the AIDS, at least I can live out the rest of my life very wealthy. So, yes, I have AIDS, but I'm living in the lap of luxury. And Larry Bird, I just pretend that I'm just having sex with a really tall Anne Heche, right? I mean, he doesn't look hairy. I could probably convince Magic, be like, listen, Magic, if you want to marry me, we can have sex. I don't want AIDS. So he may deal with that. So I can live in a sexless marriage with okay, there it is. Okay, fuck Larry Bird, who's a tall Anne Heche, if we get the young Larry Bird. Marry Magic Johnson, and I'm sorry, Shaq, I gotta kill you.
All good things must come to an end.
I think that's this week's podcast, man. I want to wrap it up because I have a lot to do this week. So I'm hoping that was a little fun, little podcast we did. I appreciate everyone that was subscribing. Please subscribe. You guys help me. Actually, I'm going to start getting ads now. I crossed the threshold where I'll be able to get ad reads. So you may start hearing some ad reads. I don't know. They're supposed to send them to me. So hopefully that'll happen. Get a couple shekels, But please go to youtube.com/Joe Fernandes to subscribe. Let me get the number to call in. I love the call-ins. You guys, that really, really helps the podcast so much. So the number to call, or you can also text in a message, is 973-908-8477. Please do that, because it helps me, it just helps, spark conversation and have fun. This is like the silliest podcast, and I'm loving it. I'm having the best time doing it, and I want to thank you guys. I have so many voicemails. I think I can do 2 more weeks of podcasts just based on these voicemails, which is awesome, and I'm grateful for you guys. Also, go to joefernandes.net. You can see all my live dates. I have a bunch coming up in the fall, some cool venues. I'll be back at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club the first week of October. Go there. I'm at this cool record store in Dover, New Jersey. All the ticket links are available at joefernandes.net. And you can watch my full web series, I Don't Know Joe. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for supporting this week, supporting the podcast every week, and all the subscribers. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, before I go. Just to remind you, you have to rate the show and give me a review. That helps. It really does help. So if you could just take the time to go to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, click 5 stars because you're having a good time, and then write a little review. That just helps me go up in the rankings. I think that's what they tell me. I don't know, but anyway, I gotta go. I got a lot to do today. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll see you next week. You're the best.